Welcome back. It's me, your teacher, Reed Maltzman, and
Jordan again.
Jordan again. Hey, Jordan. Okay, so we're going to create a new program today, Jordan, and the program we're going to create is something called uh, the Age Fortune Teller. So to do that,
Sounds fun.
yes, it's totally fun. You're going to click on this, and you're going to say New Trinket, and then you're going to select Python, the top one, and you're going to get to something called Untitled. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rename it to Fortune Teller, Age Fortune Teller. And Jordan, I want you to ask questions of what I'm doing just to kind of pretend that you're a student here and you're asking questions. So if I ever do anything that looks confusing, just
Okay.
stop me and ask me something. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called age. And we're going to set it to 0. So this is a numerical value, and whenever you create a variable, such as age, you want to set it to a number to start with. So setting it to 0 is kind of a normal thing that programmers do. This, by the way, is not a minus sign. It may be hard to see, but it's an equal sign. So I'm saying age equals 0. Now the next thing,
And
yeah,
if you were to set up a variable for something like a string variable that wasn't a number, would you just have it be an empty string, two double quotes,
yes, I would.
to set
So
it up?
if I'm going to say name, I'm going to say, all right, 0 quote or empty quotes to set it up. So the first thing I'm going to do in my program is I'm going to say, what is your name? So name equals input with an N, input quotes, what is your name? Okay. And Jordan is telling me that I'm making a mistake, but that's okay. Well, I'll just keep making my mistakes for now, and then maybe he'll fix it later. And then age is going to say age equals input, what is your age?
And we haven't learned input yet, have we?
I don't think so. Input basically says ask for something and then return it as a string. So age here is going to become a string, which is going to be a problem, and we're going to fix that in a second. But let's go ahead and run our program right now and see what happens. So it's going to say, what is your name? And then do you see how it's got this flashing thing, this question mark over here? So I'm going to type Reed, that's my name. And then what is your age? And my age is 32. Please believe that I'm 32 for a moment.
I do.
Oh, right. And then I'm going to hit return, and then that's the end of my program. So it only did those two things, okay? But it asked for my age, and it asked for my name. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to say print hello, and then I wanted to add my name after hello. Now, whenever you're printing multiple things, you need to either separate them with a comma or a plus. So here, I'm going to separate them with a comma. And honestly, I can't remember what a plus does versus a comma. Jordan, what does a plus do versus a comma?
Well, it's as we showed in the last video, plus is concatenation. It wants to put things directly together, while a comma puts things side by side and adds a space between them.
Okay, so let's see if this works because I want there to be a space. So let's go ahead and run it again. And one of the things you can do is you can keep testing your program. Now it says hello, comma, Reed because I am used to programming in something called Python 3, and it doesn't like those parentheses. So I'm going to get rid of those parentheses, and then I'm going to run it again. And then it works. So please get rid of the parentheses. I forgot we're working in Python 2.7. Then one of the changes is this thing with parentheses around print. But anyway, it's going to print all these things separated by a comma, so it says hello Reed. Now what I want to do is I want to do some things with the age. And I'm going to use a new function called if. And just bear with me right now. If, okay. All right, I'm going to show an error. If age is less than 2, then I'm going to put a colon. And notice that the program automatically indents the next line, because the next line is what the program should do if age is less than 2. So it's going to print, have you learned to walk yet? Actually, since it's a fortune teller, we'll actually not ask questions. It'll say, you are learning to walk, period. Okay, so if age is less than 2, it's going to print this. Otherwise, it's going to print nothing. Let's go ahead and run it. It's going to say, what is your name? Read. And how old am I? I'm going to say I'm 1. And hello, Read. And it did not print, you are learning to walk, even though age is 1. Here's why. When you use input, what you get back is a string. Do you remember the last lesson where we talked about the difference between strings and numbers? Right, Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we need to convert age into a number. And luckily, Python has a command for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add one more line here and say age equals int age. This line here means take the string age, which is just a series of characters, in this case it's the character 1, and turn it into the integer version of the character, okay?
And what if we wanted to do this the other way? Turn an integer into a string.
Oh, actually you could do that too. You could say str for string. It'll turn it into a string.
Great.
But let's just stick with this for a second. And I also want to show you an error. Okay, so we're going to keep running this. I'm going to show you an error on purpose right now. What is your name? Read. And what is your age? 1. I'm going to type the word 1, O-N-E. And it's going to give me an error because the computer doesn't know how to convert a string of letters into a number. It only knows how to convert something that kind of looks like a number. So this is a word, even though you and I both know that it actually has a meaning of a number. We're much smarter than the computer. So,
and this is the problem we were running into last time.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to try running it again and read. And now I'm going to type a number 1. And look, you are learning to walk. It actually worked this time because it converted the age into the integer of age. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go back to line 11. And if I hit return on line 11, it stays indented. So I can add more things to this. Print okay, so now if I say if age is less than 2, I'm going to run it. What is your name? Read. How old are you? I'm 1. Hello, Read. You are learning to walk. Try not to fall down. Okay, but I want to actually have another if statement. And so I'm going to actually put in something on the far left. And because it only gets here if age is greater, 2 or greater, I'm going to say else or elif. Elif means else if age, yeah?
When do we use else?
You use else if you don't have any more if statements. So if I were to use, if I were to say else, then you go like this, I think. Print, you are really old. Let's see if this works, okay? So if age is less than 2, do these 2 things. Otherwise, print, you are really old. So I'm going to go ahead and run. What is your name? Read. And I'm going to say my age is 5. And it says you are really old. So it skipped all this stuff because age is not less than 2. And it printed you are really old.
So elif is otherwise and if it's true.
Yep, all at once.
Got it.
So I'm going to say, I'm going to use an elif, which stands for else if. Else if, or elif, age is less than, let's say 6, okay? So this means the person is between the ages of 2 and 6. If it gets here, the person is the ages between 2 and 6. What would be a good thing to print to somebody who's between 2 and 6, Jordan?
No. How's preschool?
Oh, that's good. How is, well, let's make them statements. I bet you really enjoy preschool, okay? And let's add one more line here too, multiple lines. We're not going to use the multi-line print that Jordan taught us last time, but print, try not to eat too much paste, okay? Or if you were like I was in preschool, print, try not to throw things at the teacher. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run this. What is your name? My name is Reed, and I am 5. I'll bet you really enjoy preschool. Try not to eat too much paste. Try not to throw things at the teacher. Okay, so now I want you, the student, to guess what's going to happen when I enter this. First, I'm going to enter read, okay? And then I'm going to enter a number 12. Before I hit return, what do you think is going to happen? Ask yourself that question. Do you know what's going to happen, Jordan? You don't know?
I have a guess.
All right, what's your guess, Jordan?
I'm guessing nothing will happen.
You're guessing nothing will happen, that it'll print nothing.
I believe so.
Okay.
Unless I'm looking at the code wrong.
I think you're looking at it slightly wrong. I think it's going to say one thing. I think it's going to have one line after this. Check it out. Hello read. That's all it's going to print because the hello read.
I missed the hello.
Yeah. The hello read is outside of the if statements. But if you guessed it wouldn't print any of these statements, you were correct and you win $1,000. Ding, 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 ding. So what I'd like you to do now is I would like you to continue creating elif statements until the very end. So here's what I mean by that. I want you to do this. I want you to create an elif age is less than 12 or whatever you want, and then print a few lines of whatever you would say to somebody who is between the ages of 6 and 12. Okay, line 1. So you're going to put text in here. Okay, then I want you to do another elif perhaps, and eventually you're going to get to the highest age you want, however high that is. And so then finally you're going to say else, and you're going to end with print, dude, you are super old. Okay, so I want you to add in a number of elif statements to make your own age fortune teller. And then when you're done with that, you're going to save it. Boop. And once again, you're going to share it with me. And you're going to share it by emailing it. Boop. What email address should we send this to? rmaltzman@kentfieldschools.org. Make sure you spell it right, otherwise it'll never get to me and you'll never know. Don't forget to put your name here, Jordan Student, and your email will be whatever your email address is. Because we're using my account, it actually looks the same. You're going to send it, bing, and then it just looks like this. It looks like you didn't even send it, okay? But you do need to do that to turn in your final project. So your goal is to create, I don't know, let's say 5 more ages at least with your own silly messages. And let's go ahead and do that. And that will be our age fortune teller. Jordan, any comments?
Yeah, I had a question for you. What if we want to do greater than? What if we wanted to say if you're older, if you're greater than or older, or if you're 2 or older than 2?
Okay, so if you're
2 or younger than 2.
All right, so you can actually, thank you, Jordan. You can do less than or equal to 2. That means that you are up to the age of 2, or less than or equal to 6. And then there are other inequalities you can do as well. I'm going to show you one more.
And what if you're the same age?
Okay, so what if you equal 0? Okay, so check this out. Let's say if age equals, and you need to use 2 equal signs to say is equal to, because otherwise the computer thinks you're assigning the age 0 to it. If age equals 0, then say print welcome to life. Okay? And remember, the indentations really matter. So I had to dedent, which means take away the indentation of this line. So if age equals exactly 0, it says welcome to life. Let's go ahead and run our program just see what happens here. My name is Reed. How old are you? 0. Welcome to life. You are learning to walk. Try not to fall down. Why did it do that? Oh. Jordan, do you know why I did that? I know why I did it. Me too.
Because you forgot the else if.
I forgot the else if, because what happened is it said, 0, so print this. And if age is less than or equal to, print this stuff too. That's a perfect example of why you need else if, because otherwise you're going to satisfy both of these inequalities. So we need to say elif, and now let's go ahead and hit run. What is your name? Reed, and I am 0. Welcome to life. Okay. Boom. I think we're done with this program. Isn't that great?
It was.
It's super fun too. And look at that! Under 15 minutes!